And I do think that when voters start to vote, particularly in New Hampshire, if the results in Iowa are as you say they will be, and he wins a decisive victory in Iowa, I think the people in New Hampshire are going to say no, enough. And I think they're going to send a real message to Donald Trump on January 23rd. And they can't do it, Jake. They cannot do it by voting for Trump sycophants like Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, and Vivek Ramaswamy. Remember, Jake, at the first debate, all three of those people raised their hand and said even if he was a convicted felon, they would support him. I'm the only one left in this race who did not. And the fact is that that is the most important issue in this race, because we can't beat Joe Biden with a convicted felon. We can't beat Joe Biden with someone who talks that way about immigrants to this country. And we can't beat Joe Biden by someone who is in bed with Vladimir Putin.
A few moments later.
Republican presidential candidate Chris Christie will not be on Maine's primary ballot on March 5th. A Maine Superior Court judge has rejected the former New Jersey governor's appeal. Christie did not meet the December 1st deadline to submit the required 2,000 signatures from registered Maine voters. Maine's Secretary of State said earlier this month that Christie did not file enough certified signatures to make the ballot. Christie's campaign says they're evaluating their options.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Krispy Kreme Christie, who is probably no longer running for president, at least that much longer. I mean, it's not like he really runs anywhere, really, to be quite honest with you, except Golden Corral, right? He damn sure never runs to the gym. But anyways, Chris Christie, who is running for president, a.k.a. he's running to try to stop Trump from being president, just suffered another devastating blow. And given the fact that he's done nothing but talk smack and junk about Trump the whole campaign, nobody really gives a damn about him or his policies. He doesn't really have any. His only policy is that, well, Trump shouldn't be president. I hate Trump. I'm Trump deranged. But again, that's not enough to actually, get elected, right? And for people to want to vote for you, because he has now been kicked off the ballot in Maine, okay, because he could not get enough signatures to stay on the ballot. And Chris Christie tried to challenge this in court, and unfortunately for him, he lost, okay? So that being said, let's remind everybody that Trump says you're not supposed to call Chris Christie a fat pig, okay? You're not supposed to make fun of him, right? That's a mean thing to do, okay? Especially considering this moment in time in which, Chris Christie, he's probably not very happy.
And he says, what about Chris? Please, sir, do not call him a fat pig. We cannot call. Says, what about Christie? He's a fat pig. You can't call. No, look. Please do not call Chris Christie a fat pig. Okay? It's not appropriate. Because you're not allowed to use the word fat. Use the word pig, but you can't use the word. No, we don't want to call him that. I don't want to call him that.
Yeah, so we can't make fun of Chris Christie, right? We cannot make fun of Chris Christie, okay? So please don't do that, okay? Please don't make fun of Chris Christie, okay, in his time of need, while he copes with the fact that he probably, again, is going to be dropping out soon, okay? I mean, his attacks against Trump aren't working. And what I think is hilarious that, Chris Christie was one of these guys that was like, no, you don't understand. Don't believe the polls, right? The polls are wrong, right? The Republican primary polls are wrong. I'm actually so popular, right? I'm so popular. You guys should not believe the polls.
You're out there predicting that Donald Trump's going to win this thing before anybody voted. By that standard, Hillary Clinton would be finishing her second term as president.
Good point.
Because all the polls right up until election night and with the exit polling on election night said Hillary Clinton was going to win 360 electoral votes. I don't understand why really smart people like you put so much faith in pollsters who have proved to us over and over and over again that they're wrong more than they're.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I don't necessarily think the polls are super accurate, right? But I do think they are pretty accurate when it comes to Republican primary, especially when it comes to Chris Christie's support, okay? Because this guy has zero support. There's no reason that he's in the race outside of just hating Trump. And again, evidence that the polls are accurate, at least when it comes to Chris Christie's support, which again, also, by the way, his disapproval rating, he's like one of the most disliked politicians in the GOP primary, period, right? The fact that he couldn't even get 2,000 signatures, which is what it required to get on this ballot in Maine, tells you everything you need to know about this guy's popularity, and that, hey, at least when it comes to him, the polls are correct. So let's read here. A Maine Superior Court judge on Thursday sided with the Secretary of State's office, ruling that former New Jersey Governor Christie lacks enough signatures to be on the state's Republican primary ballot. According to CBS News, the Maine Secretary of State's office declared that Christie's campaign lacked enough signatures earlier this month, with Christie's campaign appealing the decision. Quote, we appreciate that the court upheld the integrity of Maine's well-established ballot access requirements. Maine Secretary of State Sheena Bellows said in a statement, every candidate, including presidential candidates, must follow the law to qualify for the ballot. We are glad that the court recognized that Maine law is workable and fair to all. Maine Director of Elections Heidi M. Peckham said earlier in December that Christie's campaign had turned in just 844 of the minimum requirement of 2,000 certified signatures to appear on the ballot. Candidates are required to file signatures with multiple municipal clerks for certification before handing them in to the Secretary of State's office. A Christie campaign spokesperson said at the time that the campaign gathered 6,000 signatures, arguing it was simply a procedural issue with the way they reviewed signatures and is under appeal. Well, actually, nobody believes, okay? Nobody believes that Christie could actually get 6,000 signatures, right? Because apparently he only got 844, okay? So he turned in 844. Okay, he couldn't even get 1,000, bro. He couldn't even get 1,000 signatures in Maine. That's how unpopular this guy is. Okay, following the ruling, a campaign spokesperson told CBS that, quote, we disagree with the court's decision and we are evaluating our options. In her decision, Maine Superior Court Justice Julia M. Lippes wrote that Christie, quote, did not separate petition forms by town as instructed by the secretary, or in the alternative, give himself sufficient time to bring those multi-town signature sheets to the relevant municipalities before the November 20th deadline. Christie could still file as a write-in candidate in Maine and has a deadline of December 26th to do so. Yeah, so let's hope that he's not too busy eating Christmas dinner in order to file, okay, to, be a write-in candidate. But regardless, again, this is a big blow, huge blow for Christie, okay? With that being said, is anybody surprised, right? Is anybody surprised that Christie couldn't get even 1,000 people to sign his little campaign flyer or whatever to be on the ballot, right, in Maine? And it also seems like he may have not been able to follow instructions, right, basic instructions in regards to properly filing, right? So he may have got 6,000 signatures, but again, he may not have been able to count all those signatures because he doesn't know how to follow instructions. Apparently, okay? Again, this is what happens when you spend all your time being Trump deranged and not actually running on anything besides that, right? Not actually standing for anything besides being Trump deranged. Again, it's a tired shtick that I think a lot of people in this country have caught on to, and unfortunately, it just, for him, unfortunately for him, it doesn't seem to be benefiting too much. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.